The shofar, surely the name should encapsulate, the name should crystallize the theme of the Yom Tov, just like all the others. Yom Kippur, for example, it stands out, jumps up. This is the day we ask for kapara. Sukkahs, sit in a sukkah, etc., etc. So why is Rosh Hashanah chosen so that this is the description of this particular Yom Tov? And Chazal even called the Masechta that deals with this Yom Tov Masechta Rosh Hashanah. So it seems that there is something in there, although it doesn't seem immediately obvious as to why this is so important. And it must be important. Otherwise, we, Klal Yisrael and Chazal, would not have adopted it as the name and description of this particular Yom Tov. I mean, even more to the point, Rosh Hashanah occurs on the first day of the new year. Whereas, of course, we have 2 days Rosh Hashanah, not to be confused with other 2 days of Rosh Chodesh. It's not 2 days Rosh Chodesh, it's Aleph and Beis of Tishri, not the last day of the outgoing month and the first day of the incoming month. Everybody knows that, of course. The point is that we have a day of Rosh Hashanah, according to the Torah.
Like the ordinary Rosh Chodesh.
What?
Like the ordinary Rosh Chodesh.
Like the ordinary.
2 days.
Two. That's right.
Here they're both in the Tishri.
Yes. In fact, it's a sort of Sveika de Yoimov of 1 day Rosh Chodesh, isn't it? So, it's in fact on the first day of the new year, of the incoming year. And so in English we'd say, well, this is New Year's Day. New Year's Day, okay, so it's New Year's Day, but so what? Why is that important to us? Now, it's doubly schwer. This question is really difficult because after all, we are dealing with very serious matters. It's, matters of life and death. It's called Yom Hadin. That is one of the things that we say about Rosh Hashanah. We mention it as Yom Hadin in the Sheberachs, for example, and maybe in other places, on Toikev certainly. So the life and death issues that are going to happen on today, and all we call it is Rosh Hashanah, head of the year, or New Year's Day. As we say in the Machzor, B'rios Boyi Pakedu, and each person is remembered, L'haskirom l'chaim u'l'movis, to remember them either for life or for death. So that's question number 1. Question number 2 is this. Given that we have established that it is Yom Hadin, it's a day of judgment, conjure up in your mind what judgment means. You judge something that happened in the past. If that's the case, that this is the day of judgment about my past actions, then surely the day that we should establish this day of judgment should not be on the first day of the incoming year. It should occur on the last day of the outgoing year. So last day of the outgoing, let's just take exams, school exams, You give the children exams, you don't wait till they come back in the new term. You give them the exam on the last week or the last day of the term to see how they've done during the previous term. So in other words, judgment, if it's about the past, then surely it should be on the last day of Elul, not the first day of Tishri of the new year. So we've got 2 questions. 1, why is it called Rosh Hashanah? Seems trivial. 2, why is it as it's positioned at the beginning of the new year rather than at the end of the outgoing year? And the answers, in the name of the Sifsei Chaim and Friedlander, the answers to these 2 questions should give us a magical insight as to what is going on here. The mechanics, the purpose, and hopefully what we can take out of this Yom Tov. I'll be makdim a few sort of things that we need to know before we launch into the reasons and the development of this ship. We imagine, because, Baruch Hashem, the years roll by, and we do the same more or less every year. Well, the same. We have Pesach, Shavuos, and Sukkot, Rosh Hashanah, and Kippur, and Pesach, and Shavuos, and we get summer, and we get, autumn, and then winter, and the seasons go by. So life seems to be an endless cycle of the same thing. And we even call the sefer that we use for doubling on Yom Tovim, it's called the Machzor. A Machzor means cycle. It just cycles around Pesach, same every year, exactly the same. So 1 year just slides into the next year. We do the same things. We get to the next year, Tofshin Samates, we'll roll into Tofshin Ayin, and so on. And that's how life goes. Each year is pretty identical with the year before. That's what we imagine. And what we're going to suggest really couldn't be more wrong. The word Shonah is related to the word Shinui. Shinui means change. So actually, each year is very different and very unique, certainly in comparison to other years, future years and past years. Each year is totally different and has a totally different purpose. Let me tell you, a nice moshel was given by the Chofetz Chaim. And it'll put this into perspective. And it's a mashal about perspective. So that's the right word to use. Imagine we are in a tower. Yeah, a round tower. And this tower has 4 windows, one pointing north, south, east, west. And you're in this tower and you look through the north-facing window and you see whatever's out there, rolling hills, some fields. Then you move round to the east and you see the view out of the east window, which is, I don't know, railway line, perhaps. You look round to the south and there is the picture, the view of the village. And you look round finally the west, you've got something else, the sea. Yeah, you can see the sea. So each of these windows has its own view. And if you go round and round and round, you will see the same view. Well, isn't that a sort of dogma of our year? Here it's Nisan, so it's Pesach, here it's Sivan, so it's Shavuos, and then as you go round and round, you always see the same view if you look out that window. So that's what life seems to be like. This is the mashal we're giving. However, this tower has got a staircase, yeah, a spiral staircase. And you can go to the next floor. If you go onto this staircase, you can reach the next floor. So you're on the first floor. Now if you look through the north window, you will see the same view. You'll see the north view, won't you? You will. Same view. It's right on top of the other window which you were downstairs. But there's a change. But now you see the same view, but from a different perspective. You see, you're higher up, and if you go around, you'll see the same view, always from a different perspective. You go to the next floor, and you're higher still. Same view, different perspective. You're higher, you're different. That is what life is meant to be about. Meant to be not, Pesach is exactly the same as last Pesach. This Rosh Hashanah is exactly the same as last Rosh Hashanah. We are meant to have worked on ourselves and to have had and to have benefited from a certain aliyah. So yes, Rosh Hashanah comes around again, Yom Kippur comes around again. But it's meant to be from a new perspective, a different perspective. That's what it's about. Not identical, it's not the same, I call it boring, but same monotonous, repetitive idea. It's meant to be continuous change. Shana, Shinoi go together. On Rosh Hashanah, we are told, Chazal tell us, that, of course, this is all from Chazal, because the Torah doesn't tell us itself. We are nidoin against our purpose. We have a purpose, we have a tafkid in life, and of course we are measured and we are judged against that purpose. The mashal is that, for example, that we have a picture of ourselves, say, carved into the Kisei HaKovod. And this picture is an ideal. That's an ideal of what the human being should look like. That picture is then compared to what the actual human being is. At the end of the year, is he like his ideal? Or is it very, very different? And that difference is the import. That is the act of judgment. The difference from what we should be and what we are. And the idea is, and this is what I'm coming to and will expand on, is that each year and the purpose of that year was specified during Maaseh Bereshis. During the Sheshis Mei Bereshis, the specification of what should happen to Tov Shein Samach Tes and what should be the purpose of Tov Shein Ayin is specified and plumbed in and encoded in the Maaseh Bereshis. So each year has a special position and a special place in a larger scheme. We say in Machzah, we say in the davening, Lefonecha nitlu kol ta'lumois v'hamaynis Torah shemi bereshis. Before you is revealed all the facts, all the events, everything that is here, hidden in the universe, yeah, from Bereshis, shemi bereshis, hakoil golav yodu lefonecha soifer umabit. But you don't only look at the past. Soifer umabit, you're staring, you're looking at the future, at sof kol hadomus. So that Rabbeinu Shalom is seeing everything in the context of the past, and everything that was put into Maaseh Bereshis, everything that was encoded in Maaseh Bereshis. He looks at all that continuously and takes into consideration the future as well. What is the purpose? So each year has this special place, and each year receives the special hashpor. It's as if a workman is going out to work. You give him a bag of tools. You give him a bag of tools appropriate to his skills, appropriate to the time, appropriate to the amount of effort. You give him a bag of tools. So each year is given a special hashbor and receives from Shemayim this special hashbor, which we'll call equipment, specialized for that year. Tov Shein Mem Tes, Tov Shein Samach Tes, had a certain